Oh, guess what I can't do? We live
We
on
live.
Twitch and YouTube, but guess what? We ain't live at Facebook because I'm in Facebook jail. Golly. So guess what? We could share from our YouTube to Facebook. See, that's why you got to have multiple platforms these days, y'all. But we live right now. Um, Welcome to the Vibelytical pop-up number 8. Yes, Andre, I'm in Facebook jail because haters gonna hate over a post that I made. I got flagged. And I said, y'all need to look at this.
But
Yup.
The Vibelytical show got flagged
Because
too?
I'm I think
You're the owner of it. You're the owner of it.
no, you're the owner of it, ain't you?
No, you the owner. You created the page. I'm admin.
Look, if we didn't know we was being censored, we know for sure now, huh? We know for sure now. Welcome to the Vibelytical Show, pop-up number 8. Please like, share, remember to join the conversation. And at this moment in time, we are not on our Facebook page, but we are on YouTube and we are on Twitch. And I'm trying to find us on YouTube right now so I can share it. But why don't I see our YouTube channel though? You know?
Oh my
Oh, there
God.
we go. There we go. I found us. I found us. Want me to share it on your page, Andre? Or you gonna share it?
I'm sharing.
So I'm coming back from the beach. Can y'all tell? Do I got a little extra melanin? Am I a little extra
You do.
bronze? Am I extra almondy? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so I shared it to my page, and then I'm gonna share it to. I should share it to the Vibelytical
You
page,
know
huh?
what? Georgie is
Yeah.
actually trying to view the live right now on the day you're in Facebook. She just texted me saying, I'm trying to view your show. Where y'all at?
But
Oh,
look, I'm posting it on the Vibelytical page right now. See, how did I know? But look, see, ain't hallelujah, ain't the Most High good? Because look, I created a YouTube page for us, so now we're on the YouTube and we're also on the Twitch. I'm gonna share it from the Twitch too, right now. But if you go to if you tell Jordy to go to our page, our Facebook page, right now, we're on there. She will be able to see our live stream.
through Facebook?
Mm-hmm. On our Facebook, the Vibelytical page. So y'all, I just came back from vacation. I was in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for the first time. It was amazing. I see why a lot of people go down there to retire, especially older gay folks, because you could just be you down there, and it was a lot of fun. And what's crazy is Carl Holiday was there the same time I was there. Do you know Carl, Andre?
Mhm.
He's in the army as well. But yeah, he was down there. So I did. You could right now, Andre, if you want to, or I could do it, huh? You could pin. Can you pin our live show, or can you do that afterwards?
I have to do it after we're done.
Okay. But did you tell her that it's the YouTube?
Yeah, I'm telling her to scroll down and click on the YouTube video with this on it.
Yeah. I guess.
I'm
I
just
guess
I'm
I should.
telling her we are live through YouTube.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Florida was great. The beach was great. I had a great time there. I went down with a friend, Alex. I had got my nails done, but I definitely had to take that off today because I had to put my uniform on. But it was just a good time, and I feel rejuvenated. I think vacation is important, especially for those who are nearing retirement. Especially near retirement from the army, because sometimes the army has been all that people know, And then those people get out and then they're lost, because they haven't taken vacation or leave or anything. So I'm like, I looked at this vacation as practice for retirement. So, and I want the Lord to do it for me. Like some of my friends who getting thousands upon thousands a month between retirement and disability. I'm like, do it, Lord, move it, Lord. If he did it for them, he could do it for me. So.
She said the one day I decide to pop up. Georgia's like, the one day I decide to pop up. I know.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm in Facebook jail. You know what? The post wasn't even nothing crazy either. The post was, let me see if I see it on here. And I challenged it too. Something to community standards. And it had two previous, oversight board review. It had 2 reviews, but
it's called the Vibelytical Show on YouTube too.
Yep. But I just posted it on here. Now it doesn't even show me the post that they said. I can't even see the post now. It said it doesn't follow community standards. It was a picture with a quote. But
the Vibelytical Show on Facebook.
She can't find it.
Well, she's not really that privy to technology, so she be like, "How do I get?" She don't know. So I just told her just go on YouTube itself, type in the Vibelytical Show, and then you'll see us live right now currently.
Am I friends with her on Facebook?
No, I don't think so.
What's her name? Oh, never mind. How about I just send you the link and then you can send it to her?
Okay.
So Andre, you was in Chi-Town.
Yes. I had an amazing time. I told you offline what happened. I'm not going to discuss that here. As far as the mess that happened in Chicago, but as far as the greatness, Chicago was amazing. I enjoyed myself. Chris, my wonderful friend Chris, who has just been such a light in my life here in Louisville. He introduced me to his friends out there in Chicago, and I had an amazing time. Let me send Georgie this link.
While we're doing that, why don't we do remission right now and then come right back? Want to do that?
You wanna try it again and see if we can go on Facebook?
No, we can't. I said, why don't we do remission right now?
So what does remission mean? Just get off live?
My bad. Intermission.
You want to do the 30-second countdown?
Yeah.
And then come back?
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay.
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 Okay. All right.
All right.
And we're back to the one viewer we got watching. We did have one viewer and they just rolled out. Oh, this is cool though. It shows you.
Georgie's watching.
Georgie's watching. Welcome to the Vibelytical Show, Georgie. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I violated the community standards on Facebook and I'm in Facebook jail. But we are broadcasting live to the Vibelytical Show YouTube channel and on Twitch. So I mean, I wanted to pop up, but what shall we discuss? What's been going on in the world? I know one thing. I thank the Most High today for showing me how I should properly value people. I think in this world, the pandemic probably either exacerbated this or put a magnifying glass on it or just helped us move forward. And it really like at almost I'm almost 39. Well, I'm almost 40. I'm gonna be 39 on June 7th. So that's Monday. And what I am realizing at this point in my life is it's so important to value people how they should be valued. Overvaluing people really means that you're devaluing yourself. And that's what I was doing. And, you know, everything we say on this show is a way, not the way. So I don't want you to feel like, you know, it's not necessarily the gospel as far as when we're talking about our feelings and our perceptions, but it is our experience. And so for me, I've overvalued people and in return devalued myself. And so I thank the Most High for showing me who people are. And what did Maya Angelou say? When someone shows you who they are, believe them. And I feel like I'm really doing that now. I used to be like so much more idealistic and things, this is wrong and it shouldn't be this way. But I'm now finally accepting that description when it says wise as serpents, harmless as doves, you know, that we're being sent out as sheep among wolves. I'm starting to understand the world more and more, the way the world that we live in. And even those people who say they love you and or are closest to you, I really learned that spirit is thicker than blood. Like Andre, oh, you muted. Why you on mute?
Oh,
There you go.
I'm muted it, my bad. So I want to talk about what you just said about spirituality is thicker than blood. I
Mm-hmm.
believe that wholeheartedly because I feel that the connections that I've made with with individuals that have a pure spirit,
Mm-hmm.
I have been able to really garner such a closeness to. But on the flip side of that, I've realized that the people that you thought you were spiritually connected with, you're not anymore. And I think I found out the reason why. And it was kind of the conversation you and I had, Brandon, about just people in general. Like, if you're not spiritually sound, um, then, and I'm continuing to evolve, where people like us are evolving and getting better with time and all that stuff, and you're not growing within yourself, then there's nowhere for me to go. There's nowhere for us to go with each other at this point because you're staying stagnant and I'm moving forward. So I'm starting to realize that there are people in my life that are not moving. They're just staying where they're at and they're not trying to grow and improve. And people that I've known for 5+ years are really starting to show me who they really are. And it's sad to see them go, but at the end of the day, I have to take care of me and
Yeah.
make sure I'm guarding my heart and guarding my feelings and guarding my spirit. I have to guard that. No one else can
Yep.
guard it better than me. So
Mhm.
does that mean I have to cut some people off? Yeah. Do I have to cut people off that I would not have expected to cut off? Yes. I'm
Mm.
noticing that the people that I am close to or was close to is starting to dwindle. Like
Mm.
right before my eyes, as I age and as I get older, the people that I used to be connected with, I'm no longer connected with. We don't have anything in common. We're not connected spiritually.
Mm.
And ain't nobody got time for that. I don't know who said that. Ain't nobody got time. I don't know who originated that, but yeah.
Yeah. That what's her name?
Tamar
Ain't
Braxton.
nobody got
Tamar
no.
Braxton? No.
It was a lady. Lord Jesus is a fire. That lady.
Oh, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't have time, and that even involves family. There's family that I'm not speaking to right now because you're not gonna disrespect me. So.
Sweet Brown. Remember? Her name is Sweet Brown.
Brown. Yes.
Kimberly Sweet Brown Wilkins.
Dang. Okay. Oh, you know what I just
Yeah.
thought about? You were in Facebook jail for one day, right? So we could have went live tomorrow.
No, I think I'm in jail for 30. I think I'm in jail for 30 days.
I thought it was
Yeah.
24 hours.
Oh no, I think it's 30 days. But I think Andre was crazy though is I think this just goes to show like what we were saying is real. Like
Shadow
I
Band,
think
close eye on the show and
yeah.
on you in particular because you be going in.
And really I just be posting articles. So how's that going in? And I still don't understand how the post that I made goes against community standards. It was a quote from a scientist. And it won't even about nothing controversial. It won't even about the COVID-19. It was just
What? Okay. Oh, it's not on Facebook no more? They took it down?
I can't see it. Nope, I can't see it.
And it's on your personal page, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay, shirtless picture on your profile pic.
Hey, and I think the reason why
Wait,
it was about
so what is it? It was an article?
no, it was just a quote. And I think I know why.
Wait, the quote, most Zionists don't believe that God exists, but they do believe he promised them.
No, you can't see the post. But I think the reason why is it was a quote from Paul Joseph Goebbels, who was a German Nazi politician and chief propagandist for the Nazi Party. It was a quote from him with the excerpt.
Oh yeah, you'll have to. Well, you can't send it.
Yeah, I can't even see it anymore. I should have screenshotted it, but I didn't.
No, they removed it. If they got you in jail, they
And this was the quote was, if you tell a big lie enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it. The lie can be maintained only for such time as the state can shield the people from the political, economic, and or military consequences of the lie. If thus becomes vitally important for the state to use all of its powers to repress dissent, for the truth is the mortal enemy of the lie, and thus by extension, the truth is the greatest enemy of the state. So it was a picture with the doctor and the quote. But to me, like that is 100% of like kind of how we're living now. And we can talk about something that's slightly controversial because y'all know me. So, and we sort of talked about it on the last show. But isn't it interesting that now it's okay to question the origins of the coronavirus and that President Joe Biden asked the US intelligence agency to look into its origins? Like, isn't it interesting that now it's okay? Because do you remember some of the headlines? Like they label anybody who questioned the official story, they said, oh, they were saying 35% of Americans believe that the conspiracy theory that coronavirus didn't come from a lab. But now, a year into the pandemic, it's acceptable. And President Joe Biden asked the US intelligence to look into the origins of it. So if it was, why is it acceptable now? So doesn't that quote kind of go with this whole idea that it's only okay to question things when they deem it okay for you to question things? Like CNN, all the major news sources said that it was just a conspiracy and there was no chance that it came from a lab. Now they're saying that there is a chance and they're looking into it. So I just think that that's just kind of crazy. And this is my thing. And I'll say this and I'll leave it alone because it's mad controversial. But my thoughts are, what would it look like if that information was available up front? Like, think about the political, economical, trusting the science. Would that have been different? Like, who had the most to lose? Was it Dr. Fauci? Like, who had the most to lose? Why wouldn't and or just simply pose? I posed the question. Why wasn't the information relayed that way? because the objective of journalism should be to share stories, to share factual based information, and and let people do with it what they will, right? That's the job of journalism. But we didn't get that. We got what was most profitable for the news sources and the vaccination companies and the World Health Organization and the CDC. So my thoughts are, it almost seems like having an educated populace is definitely not in the plans. Like, let us control the truth. Let us tell y'all how you should think and feel about everything. And I think, you know, this last year has that's also tied to relationships, right? Because I mean, it's kind of hard to, there's people who don't believe the pandemic is real. There's preachers in churches who are preaching that the pandemic is not real and that we haven't seen it, even though all these people have died. And there's people who don't wear their masks correctly. You know, we've talked about all of this. And to me, I wonder, would that make you feel like a person is dangerous to be around if they don't wear their mask correctly, or if they don't feel like the pandemic is real? That
Well, I
makes me
mean,
feel.
you already know how I feel about, you know,
Mm-hmm.
my family, that are like anti-mask and everybody around,
Mm-hmm.
it's just everyone, a majority of my family has had COVID because they're irresponsible with wearing their
Yeah.
mask, and suffering severe symptoms. So for me, it's just like, there's no other way that I can even like, it's there's no other way to explain it. It's just, it is what it is, and I have to look out for me, and I am no longer stressing anymore about that. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
come on,
Spirit is.
spirit is bigger than blood.
And I think that just goes to show too that we should ultimately trust the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is He telling us to do? At the end of the day, make your decision based on that. And that's how I'm living. And I've been successful, and I've been blessed, and I ain't got COVID. Um, and I think moving forward, I think it's very important to what you said, Andre, to guard your heart. The scripture says, guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. There's too many of us who are not understanding that, like, we have a purpose in this earth, we have a purpose in this world, and we're spiritual beings having an earthly experience in a shelled in a body that could sustain us in this atmosphere for a reason and a purpose. And that purpose is not to value human beings more than the creator. That purpose isn't to love your neighbor more so than the creator. It's to love the creator. And in doing so, if you love the creator, if you love the most high, then you will love your neighbor. You know, I think it's with this Israel and Palestine thing, I think that's put on blast in our faces with the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre. You know, notice how journalism isn't always truthful and upfront, and we could clearly see when you look at the headlines of the time. You know, like it said two white people killed in riots or something like that. That was the headline for the Tulsa, Oklahoma riot of Black Wall Street 100 years ago that killed 300 plus, or they don't know the specific number of Black Americans. I also did you see it was a Black woman in Indiana whose house, she concealed her race. Did you see that article, Andre, that I posted? Who concealed her race and got like 3 times what her house was worth. Like, there is so much racism still in America that it's not funny no more. Like, it's really not funny no more. And politicians continue to talk about it. And we continue to have conversations with no action, no recourse, and nothing really being done to fix it. It's almost kind of sickening at this point. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like, what are they doing to help the middle class? What are they doing to help the poor? What are they doing? What is this nation doing to help its citizens, her citizens? And it's like, wow, none of our practices are sustainable.
None of them.
Like the housing market. The housing market is going to pop. The housing market is going to pop again, and we already know who's going to be affected by it. And the simple fact that this woman I think it was Indiana, it's on my Facebook post somewhere, and the fact that she concealed her race and got that much money shows you that the banking practices are still racist as hell.
How was she able to conceal her race?
She used her neighbor to I could pull it up. She used her.
Read the article. I just saw the article and then I saw somebody talking about it or heard somebody talking about it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how she was able to conceal her race.
Let me look it up. But she used her. Both of her friends have they're Black women, but have white husbands, and she borrowed one of her friends. She took down her pictures. She listed her house and did not post any photographs or nothing like that. And she had her friend's husband act like her brother.
What?
Mm-hmm. Let me look this up.
So if I go and sell my home, I'm gonna get significantly less just because I'm Black. But if I was white, I would get 3 times as much, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, we about to.
Even if I'm in a predominantly white neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's flicking.
Listen.
Hold up.
The internet ain't liking you today, honey, from Facebook.
No, right? Okay, let me try that again.
So
bam. Okay.
So we can post on Vibelytical, but we can't go live.
I know. Can I wonder if you can go live from it?
Maybe I can because it's I don't know. I'm an admin. Maybe I can. You have to show me what to do though, and we would have to get. We would have to get off of this.
I don't know if we can or not, to be honest. So this is the article right here. I wonder how long this video is.
The best part of stepping into the spotlight isn't the award.
Don't you hate the ads? Always got to be ads everywhere.
Right. You can make it bigger. Oh, you can.
The best part of stepping into the spotlight
I can.
Is helping others step into
I just wanted to see how long it is first.
An Indianapolis woman claims the appraisal of her home was cut by more than half simply because of her race. Carlette Duffy, who is Black, suspected she was being lowballed on the true value of her property on 2 separate appraisals. So she removed pictures of herself and other items from her home and had a white male friend stand in for her during a 3rd appraisal. She watched the price rise from $110,000 to $259,000. Joining us now, Carlette Duffy, and joining her is Amy Nelson, the Executive Director of Fair Housing Center of Central Indiana, a fair housing nonprofit assisting Carlette with her complaint. Carlette, first of all, wow. I mean, this is an amazing story. What made you suspect that something was up, and how did you come up with this plan?
Well, the language from the first appraisal is what really sent red flags up for me. And the language had to deal with, it was talking about COVID, about it being COVID and I should try later. And also talked about the construction quality of my home and that surrounding neighborhoods, especially those to the south, had superior construction quality. And the neighborhood to the south of me is actually another historic Black neighborhood, but that neighborhood has been gentrified. So when I read Actually, I was at a meeting with Amy, and Amy was discussing consent decrees as it pertains to banks.
Colette.
And we're following what they were ordered to do in the communities of color. And she talked about an appraisal that happened in Florida. And that case was sent to me at approximately at the same time by a good friend of mine. And so when I read it, I said, this is something that I have to do.
Amy, you can speak to how often this kind of thing occurs. I do want to mention that CNN reached out to the appraisal companies that are cited in your complaint from the first two appraisals that got you the $110,000 and $125,000 appraisal. They deny that discrimination took place. But explain, Amy, I think this is a key point, what happened here, the way those appraisal companies decided on that number. They were looking at comps, so comparative house sales for homes that were actually farther away from Carlette's house than the other appraisal that yielded what you think clearly is a more fair appraisal dollar value.
Yeah, so the fair housing complaints that have been filed will be investigated by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And one of the things we allege in them is that the comps that were pulled were just not fair. And that could be because they were pulled from too far away, pulled from certain types of neighborhoods with similar demographics, number of different features of that. Carlette lives in a historically Black neighborhood here in Indianapolis. It's a neighborhood that has passed down home ownership to family members. And there aren't a lot of comps in her particular neighborhood, but her neighborhood shouldn't be devalued because of that or because of the race of her particular neighborhood when we have seen the neighborhoods all around her gentrify.
Well,
Carlette, I'm reminded of President Obama used to say, it turns out I've been Black my whole life. So he knows what things are like. And I can't put myself in your shoes. But when you got that third appraisal back, double what the earlier ones were, and the difference in your mind is that, it was a white guy who was in the house at the time with no pictures of a Black family inside. I wonder how that felt to you.
It felt dehumanizing. It felt demoralizing. It felt, at first I felt vindicated, and in all actuality, and it allowed me to see that I knew that I was right. But then you think about the fact that I had to remove myself from my home in order for my home to have value, and that's the part that really hurts, and that's the part that is difficult to get over. And each time I think about it, it takes me right back to that point where it's upsetting. And to think just how often this happens.
Well,
this is not a one-off. The instance in Florida is not a one-off. So it's something that has to change. And that's why I contacted Amy.
Folks, the world's first fully autonomous vehicle is almost at the finish line.
Let me stop this.
Today we're gonna fine-tune.
Ain't that something? And it's just like the things like we don't even know, even you and I, Andre, like we cannot even ascertain how much racism and discrimination actually exists and the way that it is profitable for certain people. Like, so if her home is devalued, that means she's not able to pass that down, that generational wealth. Like, and it's just like, to me in 2021, the fact that we still having conversations about reparations is crazy to me. The fact that an anti-Asian hate bill was passed through Congress with no pushback at all, after a year of attacks on Asian Americans going up in the pandemic because of the previous president, President Donald Trump, calling it the China virus and Kung flu. Like, that is crazy to me when it comes to people who look like us have been boxed out over 400 years. And every time the Tulsa, Oklahoma, every time we did do for self, right? We were knocked down again and again and again. Even in the military, I mean, come on, like even in the military, like the drama that I've had from certain supervisors who look like me was kind of crazy. Like they allow certain people to be in certain positions. You know, they used to call them Uncle Toms, or you know, I call them Uncle Ruckus or Aunt Ruckus. It's like you in that position, but you're there to make sure that you keep other people who look like you down. Like it is amazing to me. Some of these police brutality situations. The Did you hear about the situation where it was probably 2019, and the police officers violated a 15 and a 16-year-old? I want to say violated them in the street. Do you know there was a black officer there? Yep. So it does not matter. Black people can participate in white supremacy as well. White supremacy is not white people. It may have originated there from the Europeans, but there are other people who participate in it so that they can move themselves forward, right? Like the same way I can kind of go back and look at the housing market and how racism was incentivized. If a black person moves in, they will lower the value of the homes. So they would incentivize white people to be segregated away from black people, because now my house is not going to be worth as much because there's a black person who's moving into my neighborhood. Like this stuff is so ingrained in American society that there are people who overlook it. There are people, gentrification, oh, it's making the area nicer. Well, why can't you make the area nicer in such a way where the local community can still live and survive? If we really want a Green New Deal, why don't we focus on paying people wages so they can afford to live in the zip code in which they work? Boo. How much pollution would that, resolve? If people could literally afford to live in the zip code in which they work, wouldn't that be something? It would be, right. We would have way less traffic. At least have the option to live, where you work, and then incentivize people to live in the neighborhood in which they work, or the zip code in which they work. That would cut down tremendously on pollution. But you know why we can't do that? The oil companies. You know why we can't do that? Because President Biden said nothing is going to fundamentally change.
And when you have to sit back and be like, wow, people have to really take these people in political positions' words for what it is. A lot of people don't do that. You have to take what they say for what it is, and don't try to skirt around it or what. For Biden to sit there and say that there's nothing that could be like there's nothing that could be done. Yes, there's a lot that can be done. Do you want to do it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part where I'm just like, no, like Maya Angelou says, Dr. Maya Angelou said, if someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Yep. And I feel like it's really sad, because it's kind of like watching your house go up in flames. Like we're literally watching our country go up in flames. And I hate to be so real, but why not? Why not tell the truth? You know what I'm saying? Why not tell? We have to tell the truth. I mean, because if without the truth, then that's why that quote was so important. But look how it went against community standards. You know what I mean?
So Joe Biden said he promises rich donors he won't demonize the wealthy if elected president. Oh.
A quote: "No one's standard of living will change. Nothing would fundamentally change," the former vice president said at New York fundraiser on a Tuesday. On a what? On a Tuesday. Yeah, like, look, I think this is the reality right here. I need you very badly, he told the group. So he needed their money. This is what I'm saying, until we repeal Citizens United, we're not going to have a president. We're not going to have a person in Congress, that is going to represent the people, because they're all bought and paid for. All of them. I hope Nina Turner, I hope she stand tall and stand strong. But they're all bought and paid for. The truth of the matter is, you all know in your gut what has to be done. We can disagree in the margins, but the truth of the matter is, it's all within our wheelhouse, and nobody has to be punished. No one's standard of living will change. Nothing would fundamentally change, he said. So, so it's time for people to stop acting like he didn't say this. That's what he said.
He said what he said.
He said what he said. And it is what it is. And the Vibelytical show is going to tell you like it is, because that's what we do here. We don't want to sugarcoat nothing. We don't want to bring you down. We want to uplift and edify you. But the truth does that. Didn't the Most High say, and you will know the truth, and the truth shall do what?
Set you free.
Okay, you better hold that note. You better vibrato. You better crescendo, vibrato, all of it. Yeah, like the truth is what makes us free.
But I was trying to hold it back.
Yeah, tell him, Fred. Fred back there talking. But yes, the truth will make you free. And even when it's not something that's pleasant, it still makes you free, that you can now maneuver and know what to expect. At least I could give it to President Biden for saying nothing fundamentally will change. That just means that everybody who is a progressive should strategize. Come on, squad, not just tweet. But he ain't delivered on he's not a progressive. He didn't deliver on any progressive thing he said thus far. He didn't get the $2,000 checks. He said 600 plus 1,400 is 2,000. So he didn't get the $2,000 checks. He didn't cancel the debt, but also, where was the strategy for the progressive Democrats to cancel the student loan debt? You cannot tweet policy. you gotta have a strategy.
Ain't tweet policy, babe.
Yeah, you gotta have a strategy, and that's what they get paid to do. But I guess that's not what they get paid to do. They get paid to represent their stakeholders, them lobbyists who got all the money, who's making sure they get reelected.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the truth about our democracy. I think it's also, we got to talk about this. Did you, So, let me look for it. I'm looking for.
When we get done here, I can see, because I have StreamYard, and just see on through my through me.
Okay. I mean, we could test it. So what I'm looking for, did you see General Flynn? Retired General Flynn?
Mm-mm.
Did you see what they said? Did you see what he said at a meeting?
No.
So let me bring this to you. Let me bring this to you. Hopefully this is the one right turn. So he was at a meeting with some people, and they were like, why can't we, basically have a coup like what happened in Myanmar? Do you know what happened? Do you know what happened in Myanmar?
What happened?
A coup.
And now I have to go to the sorry subject of Michael Flynn. Liz Cheney put out it.
Lord have mercy.
That's how he look now. He look a hot mess. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh God, that's how General Flynn. That's how he
tweet after his comments were widely disseminated. I know he has attempted a walk back today, but let's put the Liz Cheney.
Let's see.
Tweet up on the screen so our viewers can see a very simple picture of Flynn No American should advocate or support the violent overthrow of.
Lord, so the internet ain't working. I'll look for an article real quick.
Well, you're just not being patient and letting it buffer, but it's fine.
You're right. So basically, retired General Flynn was at a meeting, and there's some QAnon supporters there, and he discussed like why somebody said why can't what happened in Myanmar happen here, in which they overthrew the government through a coup and locked up the nation's leader, and the military took over. Now, what was also happening in Myanmar is that the Rakhine Muslims, very dark-skinned people, were being basically kicked out of their homes, and now the Rakhine people are basically off in an island somewhere. They ship these people off to an island to basically die and be alone. So, what does that? I mean, does that tell you everything you needed to hear?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm trying to find. So this is extremely dangerous for a former general to be calling for a military coup, Painter added. This cannot be accepted in the United States of America. Flynn on Saturday told a conference attended by supporters of the unhinged QAnon conspiracy theory that a coup, the type of which has seen scores of protesters killed in Myanmar, should happen in the U.S. So to me, is this not doubling down on January 6th, the Capitol insurrection?
Mm-hmm. That's
the terrorists. Huh?
That's immediately what I thought about.
Yeah. He later tried to walk back the comment saying there's no reason whatsoever for any coup in America. But you said it. And when he said it, the cheers of the people who were in the crowd, I mean, you should have heard it. So they're saying that he committed the act of sedition. And to be a prior military general, what is that? A retired Army general, right? Army general.
Don't get me started. There are so many commanders and CGs.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not gonna say
it. Ain't that something though?
You know what I mean. You know what I was getting ready to say though, right? Like what I was getting ready to say it, but I'll you hummed, so I won't say it.
Yeah.
But you know exactly what there's a bunch of them that are. So yeah, it's
yes. Yeah, and I think ultimately, I think people are having to choose. Just as with the Israel-Palestine thing, I think that just makes it very glaring that people are having to choose. Either you're going to look at other human beings and see them as being made in the image of the Most High, or you're not. But if you don't, you're going to hell. Like, I mean, like he made it simple. He said the greatest commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and to love your neighbor as yourself. And in between there, he said the second is likened to the first. So loving human beings and loving God's creation is equal to loving the Most High, which I never understood. Why can't church ever take a stand on racism? Like, we still have churches yet today. And when you really look at the Billy Grahams and the Franklin Graham, like Billy Graham didn't take a stand. He thought he could just preach Jesus alone, but Jesus would have advocated for the poor. For the least of these is how you treated me. And in America, far too long, the least of these have been Black people, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. I'm tired of hearing, just be quiet, or people talking about they feel like they got to walk on eggshells. You know what I'm saying?
We started that. You
feel like you got to walk on eggshells. There's certain people who feel like because they're now held accountable for the things they say, they made up cancel culture, when it's really consequence culture. And Andre said that on Vibelytical first, before Mr. Reading Rainbow said it, LeVar Burton. We said it here first.
I want my cut in the chat.
Call us, LeVar. You be watching let us find out you be watching the Vibelytical show.
Because he could be promoting it.
He could.
Since he's because LeVar playing.
Because guess what? We do promote reading here. We read articles on the show. We do promote academiology. Take a look. It's in a book. Yes, so we do that.
I be promoting academia, folks. I be promoting celebrity bloggers, B. Scott. Scott. I be shouting you out now.
Let me make sure I ain't leave Paul outside. What if I left Paul outside and it's dark? Hold on, one second.
If Paul outside, child, oh my goodness.
I don't think I left him out, but let me make sure I did. I did it. I didn't. I just had to check because I heard somebody like scratching on the door. Maybe he wants to go out, but I don't let him out after dark. An eagle could, fly down and swoop him up. Yeah. So I mean, where was we at, Andre? How can we uplift and edify these people? Love yourself. Love who the Most High made you to be and walk in all your glory, honey. Let me see if you could walk. Life is short. Life is but a vapor. And so it's only so much time for you to really get this thing right. So live honorably.
Live honorably.
Yeah, and honor yourself. Honor yourself first.
Starts
because if you honor yourself, because if you honor yourself, everything else will be put in its rightful place. Because how can we? I was about to hit it with the RuPaul.
Listen. RuPaul's statement reigns true to this day, though. I mean,
don't it?
And I think that's why he puts it in the show at the very end. Like, if you don't love yourself,
really
how are you gonna love somebody else if you don't love yourself?
How? In every relationship, I think would be ruined if you don't love yourself, because then you're living in a place of insecurity.
But don't we know some people that don't love themselves though?
I think we do.
Yeah.
I think we do. And it's
I was just gonna say, sadly, I do. And sadly, I see people that don't love themselves looking for love in the wrong places. So I mean, I'm just saying, I see folks that lack the internal love they need to be given themselves, which shows in their actions towards other people, but they want the love that they are not giving themselves. So, and it's sad. It's actually quite sad because you're projecting actually hatred upon yourself. Actually, you're projecting that you don't value yourself, but then you're looking for the opposite. Well, if you're not treating yourself with tender love and care, there's no way you can give somebody else that. It's not humanly possible for you to shower someone with love if you don't have that internal love. There's no way. And I have experienced it in my life where people have said one thing to me, but their actions be totally like, girl, are you sure? Are you sure? So I just sit back
and Andre, let me ask you, like, how do you know this? How did you learn this?
I learned it through what I'm doing with myself now. I'm loving on myself right now. The self-love journey that I have been on over the last 6 months now has really allowed me to look inward and do a lot of self-reflection on what I deserve and what I need from my life, putting myself first, reprioritizing what is important, and reprioritizing what values let me rephrase that. reprioritizing what is best for me. And then after I do that, then everybody else, it'll just naturally cut. The love that I'm giving myself now, I know that I'm way more effective now on showing love to someone else because I'm doing the internal work.
You better say that.
And I mean, there's going to be some bumps in the road. I'm going to have my moments like, ugh, you know, ugh. I'm going to have moments like, ugh. Even in my moments of ugh, I'm saying, okay, how can I avoid having another ugh? Well, okay, to avoid another ugh, I need to do some internal work. I need to look inward and say, you know what? That's a moment in time. That moment is not your forever. And a lot of people hold on to those moments of hurt and let it and carry it on with them. You just be walking around and they got a whole ton of bricks behind them. Why? Why you got all that back there? You carrying pain with you.
L-I-G it.
Ain't the Most High carry your pain, though?
He is.
Oh,
and we supposed to help, and we supposed to help each other carry each other's burdens.
But if you carry your own, then there's no way you can give any love or any compassion to anybody else. I just want to be extra with that.
You're absolutely right. And I think, I think in order to love yourself, you got to know yourself. You got to sit with yourself. You got to get away from everything sometimes and just meditate and pray and figure yourself out. And I think, going on your spiritual journey to figure out what your purpose is. I think this is what I have a question of. Show me somebody who knows their purpose, who is flowing in their purpose, who is not happy. I don't think you'll find them.
I'll wait.
I don't think you'll find a person who knows their purpose, who's being obedient to their purpose, going with the flow of their purpose, and is not happy or living a joyous life or a peaceful life. Because I could say that you're looking at two people right now who are doing that. And it's not that we don't have moments where we're not happy or moments where we're not joyous, but those moments don't last long. Those are few and far between. It's like just we rolling in a Cadillac with the independence.
It's like a little blip, like a bloop, like a little bump.
Yep. Just to like, let me get back on balance. Let me respond to life situation. Cause we're also, when we're in the midst of learning to love ourselves, find our purpose, find our spiritual, go on our spiritual journey, like we're dealing with the traumas of other people. And what I'm realizing in my life is that sometimes the people that we're trying to have relationships with are people who have past traumas that they haven't dealt with, which makes it nearly impossible for you to have a healthy relationship with them, which is why the relationships turn into dysfunctionality. And guess what? I can't go down in the Titanic with you. I'm sorry. Like at that point, I got to jump off. I'm jumping in the rescue boat. And if you want to come, jump, but I'm not going to go down on the Titanic with you. I'll pray for you. I pray that you get it right. I'll be a lifeline for you. I'm not going to leave you. But at the same time, I can't go down on the ship with you. Because I know my purpose now. Like I'm connected to the Most High. I pray, I ask for his strategy in my life and I obey that. And I think when you do that, it creates a situation in which now I'm not valuing the Most High's creation more than the Creator. Because many of us, even in church, we're taught idolatry and we don't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? We don't even realize it, that it's disguised as idolatry, which means like we are worshiping lower than who the Most High created us to be. We worship a human. We look towards like somebody's our role model, but maybe that role model doesn't have the gift that you have. Maybe that role model doesn't have the anointing that you have. And it's for you and to get along with the Most High. And there's certain things that a human cannot teach you. And when you find that space and time and you get with the Most High, he can show you yourself, things that another human being cannot show you. And once you have that experience, I feel like you can never be insecure again. He won't allow you to be. The Most High will make sure that, you just got stabbed in the back. He'll make sure that you get an extra dose of love in the front. So you don't even notice what happened, that you just got stabbed in the back, because the relationships that's unhealthy for you, soon as you move them out, here comes another one, a healthy one to replace it. But if we still stuck holding on to the things that made us comfortable, we still holding on to the dysfunctional things, then we are essentially blocking out our own healing process by staying in dead marriages, by staying in, unhealthy relationships, by keeping bad company around us, people that we know aren't good for us, people who are using us, not seeking the Most High on the way we should navigate these relationships, because he knows all, sees all, and can show us all the red flags we need to see from the beginning. Will he not? Can he not, Andre?
He can, because he did it for me this weekend. I digress.
See? And he did it for me too. At the same time. Boop, boop.
Listen, the boop used at the right time.
Yeah. So I just think, that we have a perfect opportunity to live a joyous life. It's just, even though we don't live in a joyous world all the time, but we can accept the world that we live in and still rise above it. Just like we are, authentically being who we are, despite, things that the church has said, despite things maybe our parents or family have said at times, or the lack of support. But look at how they've all changed to a degree to fit into our world. When at a time they was waiting for us to change in order to fit into their world. But when we saw the light that was within us, and we saw our purpose, they understood that they had to acknowledge the anointing that's on our lives. Tell me I ain't lying.
But you know what, though? What's so interesting, though? We always had a light. We just didn't see it for ourselves.
You're right, because we allow what other people said to determine what, that's the hard part about, being, I would say, raised in America, raised in a society where, like we learned about it at EOA school, remember? Socialization. So much of socialization is boxing you in. Men are this way, women are that way. Cultural, situations, because everything in America, I would say, is about getting a job, going to school, so you can have a living, so you can have American dream, so you can have a house, you can have a car. You know what I'm saying? Everything is about those things, not about, imagine if we worked on the inside, because look, we have a lot of zombies running around. And I realized this when I lived in DC. It was a lot of beautiful shells. Everyone was beautiful. They had good jobs. Everyone was desirable from on paper. They made good money. They had nice houses, nice cars. They dressed wonderfully, but on the inside, they was dead. Because everything in America is about do what's necessary on the outside of you. I think that's why so many people struggle with depression and anxiety these days, because we were taught to work out our muscles, but not this one. And then even when we work out this one, it's an education. It's a vehicle. It's not even an education. It's not even a learning to apply and thrive and live. It's a learning to get paid. It's a learning to then go on and make a whole lot of money. But if imagine the Most High says, get your character together, because if you get your character together, where I'm sending you, where I will place you, you'll be able to stay. But if you just get this together, you get your outer shell together, you get your education together, then your character will allow you to ascend, because you did all those things. You look the part, but your character won't hold you there because you ain't work on it. So Andre, the people that we have tried to have relationships with and or date at times, they're people who didn't get their character together. They were zombies. They were dead on the inside, and they couldn't be with us or thrive with us or jive with us or vibe with us because they were dead on the inside and we weren't.
We were, and I think that's one reason why I said earlier that I think we always had our light.
Yeah.
Because we knew how to, well, we had empathy. First of all, we had empathy.
First of all.
always had empathy. And I think that in our lives, we have seen people and dealt with friends and romantic relationships and friendships where they would look at us and they probably saw the light and we didn't see it, child. Probably saw our light that we didn't see within ourselves and ran with it and abused it and did all kind of stuff, twisted it up and tried to throw it in the trash can and everything. So
yeah.
And now
I think here we are, all these years later, still thriving, because I think ultimately many emotional things are just it's as simple as a decision, right? Like it starts with a decision. Like you don't have to have all the strength and all the power to get out of a dead marriage. I didn't have all the strength and all the power to, but it started with a decision and a realization that, you know what, I don't want to spend the rest of my life like this.
No.
You know, and oftentimes we forget that we was born into the family that we were born into for a reason. And I think that family dynamic and family relationship is so important. I'm not saying anybody should be a doormat. So I'm not telling you to, if your family is toxic, I'm just saying, you know, when we look at our family dynamics and our family relationships, I mean, because if I'm gonna be 100% transparent, it was my grandparents' relationship that let me know my marriage was over. Because my grandfather's spirit communicated with mine. And it told me something. And I told my mom what it told me, what his spirit told me. And he told my mom that 3 days later. And it basically, his spirit told me that he was ready to go. And that he was ready to go because of the way that my grandmother treated him. And he was losing the faculty of his limbs and he couldn't get away from her anymore. And he had what's called his Lewy body disease. And so that made me, you know, awaken to the reality that my marriage was. And I said, you know what? I don't want that to be me. Real talk. I was like, I saw my life flash forward. Is that a thing? Flash forward, fast forward, whatever. I saw a dream. I saw that being me. And I was like, I don't want that for my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want that for my life. I don't want my life. I don't want to die, you know, or feel like I want to die because I'm in a dead marriage.
Lord Jesus, a dead marriage.
And I didn't want to, you know, hey, I don't be liking to tell all my business, but you know, it's the testimony, right? The scriptures say, and they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and by the words of their testimony. And that's over in Revelation. So, you know, I'm telling you my story, not to tell my business, but hopefully that it would help whoever's watching the show understand that, you know, you can overcome and you should overcome. And if a person loves you, would they come against the very purpose that you have been put on this earth to do? If somebody loves you, would they discourage you from doing the very thing that the Most High told you to do? See, because we think we forget, like the church be teaching you that it's all peaches and cream. But when you read in the word and you read in the scriptures, it tells you that the enemies of a man will be that of his own household. It tells you that Yahushua did not came to bring peace, but he came to bring war. Mothers against daughters, fathers against sons. Why? What creates war in the family dynamic? What creates war is the truth. The truth is the beacon. It's the truth is the reason war exists in the first place. You know why? Between the people who accept it and the people who don't. It's the tug of war, right? I accept the truth, you don't, we at war. Like it's a spiritual thing. Like the scripture talked about in the last days, you know, woe to those who call evil and those who call evil good, right? Those who call good evil and those who call evil good. And are we there? I mean, I think we're there. People are doing it.
We was there a while back, but yeah, we there.
Yeah, we've been here. Yeah.
We in it.
And I think, you know, now's the time to really choose, like, what is your life going to be like? What is it going to be like? What do you want your end to look like? What do you want the rest of your life to look like? Because you can make the decision to change today. You can make a decision to surrender your life to the Most High and say, you know what, Lord, I'm tired. I was tired of doing it my own way. I was tired of doing it my own way. Ain't you tired? Ain't you tired?
I'm tired.
Because I feel like, you know, when we're doing it our own way, why would we not tap into the most nutrient rich, the most knowledgeable, the most infinite wisdom that we could ever have in the Most High? Why would we forsake that? Because of somebody else's experience, because of what somebody else said. No, you could tap in it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Why would we forsake that in this world when, guess what? The same things is happening over and over and over again, right?
Again.
It's a cycle, and we don't have to ride that roller coaster. We don't have to.
Nope, we don't.
He could give us a peace that surpasses all understanding.
All.
We could be in the eye of the storm. Not like Trump talking about the calm before the storm. We could be in the eye of the storm and guess what? And not be affected. Cause look, my household ain't gonna be affected. My friends ain't gonna be affected by all this stuff that's gonna come up on the earth. Okay, y'all? Like, we who is connected to the Most High, we gonna be all right.
I'm eating my
popcorn. Right. Huh?
I'm eating my popcorn.
Right?
And my lemonade.
Because we all right now. And we're gonna be all right. As a testament to the rest of the world, that those who serve the Most High, we gonna be all right.
And for Facebook shadow banning us. For speaking.
You know what? I feel like, I mean, to me, this kind of just shows. But remember how we move, though, right? In Him we live, move, have our being. Remember, I was like, maybe we need to make a Twitch, a YouTube channel. Like, I just thought, like, oh, we need to do that, like, ASAP. Remember that 2 weeks ago. Before vacation, I was like, I'm like, let me just make a Twitch. I ain't never been on Twitch in my life.
I've never had a Twitch. I don't even know what that is.
See, I was like, we need some other places to broadcast to, because I noticed that basically what happened, y'all, with Facebook, you know, the first month we promoted our page and we were getting likes and follows and it was just rolling, right? And you could go and see what was happening. And Facebook would tell you what they're doing based on the clicks and how much money they're charging you. So what Andre told me was, we went to promote the page the second time. We spent the same amount of money, and to this day, has it been promoted?
Zero.
So y'all,
yeah.
So they didn't use any of the money that we put towards the ad. So that just let me know, like, we was being shadow banned. And then I get a post that goes against community standards, but it's just a quote. So yeah, it was a Nazi scientist, but I mean, come on, y'all. I'm not promoting no Nazism. It was a quote that really rang true. And if you was watching earlier in this, I read the quote. So I think it's because, just look at Black voices who uplift and edify. What happens to those voices?
Oh, we get booped. They boop us.
See, they mute us.
Well, a mute boop.
I mean, it's too easy. Like,
shut up and work. Just shut up and be quiet.
Or any, they did it to white voices too. I mean, JFK, they do it to any voice that
about that life. They do it to the white voices that be knowing and then be holding white supremacists accountable. That's they shut them up too. Yes, because there are white folks out here and Black folks, well, woke Black folks that are about that life. So
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, like, it is interesting to me. I think so. You know what? Hold up. I want to celebrate that. I want to uplift and edify and turn this into a worship moment. That means that we are saying things that are so impactful that there's a reason to silence us. Because I have known, and now I really believe what Shantae Pitt be telling me. And he told me, he was like, Brandon, I see your page. You got, like 3,000 friends. but nobody likes your stuff. You know, you maybe get 1 or 2 likes on your post. And initially I was like, oh, that's probably just because I'd be posting a lot. I'd like see an article, post an article. Ooh, that's interesting. Post, bam, bam, bam. But then I thought about it, like 3,000 people, like, how come nobody's seeing, you know, is there a chance that nobody's seeing my posts? And then I got messages from people in like the UK, Pakistan, London. Like when I thought my posts were negative, they would say, you know, they would send me messages and say like, thank you for posting this. Like people I didn't know. Thank you for posting this. You know, I have a daughter and I pray about her safety and this and that and this and that and this and that. And so it's just very interesting to me that like, first, our page is not being promoted. Then I think about how many likes or views we were getting before we had StreamYard, before we had a Facebook page. We was averaging at least 200.
Yeah.
200 to 300 a show. Before we had everything looking pretty and all this stuff. And so I'm just finding it very interesting that the Facebook option, that's kind of why I was like, we need YouTube, we need Twitch. I'm gonna look to see whatever else we can get, because clearly we don't need to just be on one platform. And then eventually I'm gonna make us a Vibelytical website, and then we could also stream from there too. That's the best way, because then, you know, they can't really, you can't really be shut down that way.
You can't shut down a web.
Right. Less likely to, because I really don't see, if I thought that I would be going against community standards, I wouldn't have posted. I wouldn't have posted that. You know?
Yeah.
But we can say whatever we want. You know why right now? Because we're not streaming to Facebook. So they ain't here. Unless somebody from there is watching our page.
Maybe, and they may be, and they probably like, yep, you gonna relish in this 30 days of ban. I hope it's not 30 days. I think it's 24 hours.
I think it was 30 days.
30 days? So that's a long time.
I feel like they said, oh, you just gonna challenge me? I think they said, you gonna challenge me? Guess what? You finna get this banned. Because I pushed, you know how you could say accept the decision or reject the decision? I rejected the decision.
You know what?
Because it didn't, I did not think that it went against community standards. I'm trying to look and see. Now I don't even.
It's supposed to tell you how long you are in jail, but 30 days.
Oh, I can see the post now. It was from I'm gonna send it to you. It was from a Christian rapper, Eshawn Burgundy, and it was that quote I read earlier. And in his post, he said, "This is how oppressors think." Now I can't see it now. This is how oppressors think. Put your faith and trust in the Most High and not men's systems. What about that goes against community standards? I'm going to screenshot it to you. So you can judge me, Andre. My bad. I got us in Facebook jail. It's my fault. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it.
I'm like, Lord. I was ready to, you know.
I mean, but we still on the YouTube. We on the YouTuberation.
Let me look. This is how oppressors think. Put your faith and trust into the Most High and not men or systems. That's deep in itself, right there.
But I mean, is that?
Well, I'm not gonna read it out loud. I'm just gonna read it to myself because I don't want YouTube to be like, "Get me saying that." Hold on.
And the quote, I already read the quote, remember?
Oh, you read it. Oh, you read this. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Would you think that would go against community standards? Just at first glance?
No.
Are you saying that just because it's me?
No, especially the last part. For the truth is the mortal enemy of the lie, and thus by extension, the truth is the greatest enemy of the state. What is terrible about that?
Mm-hmm.
Honey, it's rooted in truth. That's why, child.
So,
and it's 30 days. You still ain't checked. It's really 30 days.
So I don't see that part now.
Because you're supposed to still be able to get the message. You're supposed to have visibility to see the message of how long you're going to be in Facebook jail.
I don't see it now.
I think it's just 24 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much. For the first time. Well, you've been in Facebook jail before, though, but.
They said, we got him again.
Celebrating that Facebook, girl.
Mm-hmm. I swear I don't see it, though.
Well, let's get off of here, and then I'm going to try to get on.
Okay. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching this on the replay, you know, we still will like your comment and respond back to you. Follow if you're watching this. I guess you'd have to be watching this on YouTube. We're also on Twitch, and hopefully I will be out of Facebook jail so we can be back, or we'll be doing this again like this. But hey, maybe it'll be better, and maybe we won't be shadow banned on YouTube. So maybe that will grow our audience there. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the Vibelytical Show exists to uplift and edify. And even when we tell the truth or talk about subjects that are sensitive in nature and or controversial, it's always with an intent to uplift and edify. Because at the end of the day, the Most High said the truth, that you'll know it, and that it will make you free, set you free, depending on which, translation you read. But the end result is the truth will make you free. And that you'll know it, okay? You're going to know it, and you're going to be free. You're going to know it, and you're going to be free. You're going to know it. What's going to happen? Say it with me, Andre. You're going to know it,
and it's going to
make you free. Hallelujah. Okay. So we're going to hang up here. I said it like it's a phone. We're going to hang up.
Political, don't you know.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay.
See?
You see, you got to remind me because, I do the show like it's the first time, like I just be forgetting. But hey, we gotta put out when is our next show? Not this weekend because it's my birthday.
The following weekend.
And so be on standby for that graphic. I'll go ahead and create the event.
We can still promote the graphic right now though, and we probably could do it again once we out of Facebook jail.
Did I do it? I don't think I have the graphic though.
You sent it to me. You sent it to me.
I did.
You probably didn't put it on StreamYard, but
I can do that real quick. Let's see.
You the one that sent me that thing. And it was like, oh, that woman's beautiful on there. So, I want to give away what yes, you sent it to me.
Okay.
You found it, right? See?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, your memory. I'm going to help you. I'm going to keep happy in this memory.
Thank you. You know what? I think Facebook is really hating because they're like, your picture is mad hot right now. You put this new profile picture up here.
You know what? Do you think you made me Facebook just because of that picture showing them pics?
They got mad.
I changed my picture though to a little LGBT circle thing.
Yeah, I want to support the pride. Yeah. Do I need to go there? Do I need to go there and do that too?
Yeah, you know, this LGBT Pride Month. I was supposed to do it earlier, but on June 1st, but I'm a little late. I'm mad I didn't get any likes on my picture though. I guess not a lot of people saw it. I'm like, dang, ain't nobody liking my profile pic. It's cute. I like that picture of my yellow shirt.
They didn't like. I liked it, didn't I? I think I did.
I don't know, but I only got 14 likes, and I'm like, excuse me? I usually get way more than 14. Excuse me? Like, what is that? But it's because of when I posted. I should have waited until Friday or later on this evening. I posted it like while everybody was at work. So, so I noticed with profile pictures, you got to post that at night when people are on, because you know. Why I had people thinking Chris was my new boo.
Hey.
I was like, no, I want him to be my boo, but he's very heterosexual. So
Yeah. So that wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work. No, he's straight.
It was a nice picture though. I mean, it looked nice.
Yeah, and I was like, Chris, he was like, "Dang, I actually look kind of good in this picture." I was like, "You do, Chris?" He's such good people. I'm gonna miss him when I PCS. I definitely will.
I know you'll go visit though.
Oh, I'm coming back to Louisville to visit. That's happening. Yeah, Chris will not. I will see Chris at least twice a year. At least twice a year. Because he has a restaurant here, so he ain't going nowhere anytime soon.
Okay, I'm almost there, y'all. Are you ready? You ready? 3, 2, 1. Here it is. And there it is.
That was so good.
I feel like we should play it again.
Oh.
Storytelling, cultural portrayal. And I just felt like, yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful episode.
Yes, I cannot wait to share. It's gonna be good.
So, Audrey, do you want to get off here now, and then you try to see if you can go live on our page?
Yes, I'm gonna log into StreamYard and then see if I can access the Vibelytical show to go live. But I'm gonna bring you on, send you the link and all that stuff, because I think you showed me one time. So yeah, I'll test it out.
Okay. Well, all right. We'll be seeing y'all not this weekend, but the next time on the pop-up, and then
we're gonna go do a pop-up next week, though, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just not doing a show on Sunday.
Yeah. Do you want to do the pop-up on a Wednesday or Thursday?
Let's do Thursday since your birthday. Ain't your birthday on Wednesday?
No, my birthday is Monday.
Oh, your birthday's on a Monday. Let's do Thursday.
On Monday. Okay.
Yeah, let's do Thursday.
So see y'all Thursday or in a few minutes. Peace. Oh, I didn't forget.